Hello plant community, thanks for tuning in this channel. My name is Pam and today you guys, we have a fun one. It's a Hoya loving one. So if you're into Hoyas as much as I am, you definitely don't want to miss this video right here. So stay tuned. Okay guys, so what I decided to do is actually show you a very small portion of my Hoya collection that I feel requires more water than most. When I initially started my journey as far as purchasing plants, specifically the Hoya variety, I was going off of the mindset of, okay, they like to dry out completely to give them very best adequate lighting, bright, indirect, sometimes intense lighting if you want to get them the sun stress, and yada, yada, yada. So as I started growing my collection, I've noticed a sudden difference with certain types of Hoyas that may not require that concept of little watering and maybe bright light and things like that. So today, you guys, I wanted to share with you a few of my Hoyas in my collection that I feel needs a little bit more water. I would say more moisture than our traditional thought of just letting them completely dry out. So let me just get started. And really what really sparked the idea for me to do this video is the short that I not too long ago did, where I believe I was kind of like answering someone's question. I decided to do a short on how to keep a Curtisii um, thriving or growing, so to speak. And I did a quick short. So I might as well start off the video with her. As you guys know, Sansi has been a part of my plant journey since the very beginning. I absolutely love their grow lights. They have lightened up the dark corners of my home and aid in the optimum growth of my plant, which is why I'm so excited that they have partnered with me again. I have the BR30 30W LED grow light bulb. It comes with one bulb and a remote control. What I like about this product is that you can place your bulbs anywhere in your favorite light fixtures. These bulbs provide your plants with the lighting they need, and you don't have to compromise on your design style. The added feature of a remote control is a bonus for me. Traditionally, I would have to come in my sunroom in the morning before going to work and turning on the lights. I have to say it can be a real inconvenience when your main goal is preparing for the start of your day. The remote control has an auto on-off timing with 3 settings, 4, 8, and 12 hours. So you can set the timer as you wish and forget it. That way you can focus on other important things. This product not only saves on time in the morning, but due to the bulb optical lens for high ppfd, you also save on energy, which makes this product a win-win. Now, although this lighting type is only available in the US, Sansi has other affordable options for your plant growing needs. I provided both links in the description for our US Canadian residents as well as the European sites. Also, there is a link in the description as well, giving you guys some extra savings as well. Thank you again, Sansi. Now back to the video. Because she was actually the one that really had me understand that I have to give certain plants a little bit more water, certain Hoyas a little bit more water. And initially, I thought maybe it was because of the bright light, just the plant in itself using up a lot of its energy, right? Of course, when plants use their energy, you do have to water them more, and that's understandable. But what I have noticed with these plant varieties is that it doesn't really matter about the environment. It could be in a bright light situation, it could be a medium, or even a low light situation. I still find myself to have to give them a little teeny bit more watering than I normally would with my other Hoya varieties. Honestly, you guys, like y'all already know, I have probably over 90 Hoyas or so. And some of them I really don't have to worry about watering them until maybe around the 10th to 12th day mark. The ones that I'm about to show y'all today in my collection, from my experience, is usually around between the 5 to 7 day range, which is quite interesting. So yeah, this is the Curtisii, and this is one of them. And I actually moved her. She was actually closer to the window in here. And by the way, I'm not quite sure if this makes a difference. It probably doesn't, but the majority of them, with the exception of two, and I'll let you know the two in the variety that I have, all of them are being grown in here, but it's two of them that's being grown actually inside my home. And those two, they're getting, and I'll just talk about it when I get to them. But yeah, but anyway, so, and I moved her. So now she's several feet away from the light in here, and I still have to give her a little bit more water than need be. I notice if I let her go dry too long, she's not very forgiving. Her leaves will start turning brown, shriveling up, drying up very, very quickly. So I am very mindful of making sure she is well watered. And she is one of the probably most frequent Hoyas that go to my sink where I actually spray down the leaves. Because the leaves are so small, of course, she is known for getting those darn mealy bugs, which I'm getting sick of them, really, because they've been like just jumping from one collection to the next here in my home. And that's just part of being a plant parent, right? But yeah, ever since I've been doing that, so far so good. She's been doing very well. And she's been like really a basic, simple grower. She's a moderate grower. I wouldn't call her like super fast growing, but considering where she was, because when I brought her, she was in like a 3-inch planter. I think she's come a long way for the years that I've had her, and she hasn't really given me too much problems. And I think the watering, you guys, is honestly the key for her. My next one, you guys, I'm just going to show you and explain to you really quickly what I did to alleviate her stresses. And this is my Hoya Nuna, you guys. I've had her in my collection now for almost going on 2 years, or at least a year and a half. And when I got her, uh, she was definitely this long, but she wasn't as full down at the bottom. So she is also another Hoya that I put out on my Hoya wall last growing season. And I more than likely will put her back out there. And when I did do that, it did promote her to fill out some of these vines. So I'm super excited to see what she'll do this upcoming season. But when I brought her, I never changed the substrate. That's one of the things, you guys, that I am learning to pay attention more to, not to be in such a rush to pot them up into my mixture, because sometimes you got to go with that theory, if it's not broke, don't fix it, right? And I was so quick to do that, and I've killed a lot of plants doing that because I was so busy trying to acclimate the plant into my way as opposed to actually listening and observing to see what they need, if that makes sense. But anyway, my Hoya Nuna, um, she was actually in like a, what do you call it? Like a 4-inch planter, and she was being grown in nothing but cocoa chips. So very airy mixture. And I noticed I was starting to water her a little bit too often, even more so than the rest of the other plants that I'm about to share with you guys today. And I said, you know what, she needs to be up potted. So I just pulled her out, you guys, and I didn't disturb her root ball or anything like that. And I just plotted her right into, I think this is like a 6-inch planter. Oh my goodness. I just realized I didn't do, I'm going to show y'all. I did not do this that long, like maybe about maybe 2 months, but she's already got the roots trying to come through here. She's a very fast root grower, but once I potted her up and gave her, I just more or less just put regular potting soil with perlite around the root ball, which mainly consisted of the cocoa chips. And so when I water her, she stays very hydrated a little bit longer, which is very good. Her leaves are nice and thick. I can always tell when she needs a drink because her leaves will start getting thin. And of course, you know, they're not pliable. So I can't bend her or anything like that. But she's like one of my favorite Hoyas, you guys. So, yeah, so she's doing good. My next one, you guys, I think I've already shared with you before about this particular Hoya needing more water. And this is my Lacunosa snow caps, or I would call it probably non-snow caps, because she doesn't have very much variegation going on. And I'm okay with that. I came a long way with this plant, you guys. I found this plant in a big box store, I think like Home Depot, and she was initially in a 6-inch planter. I did what I always do with my Hoyas. I'm thinking, okay, this baby needs a lot of light. So I actually had her hanging in one of my macrame hangers really close to the window, and I realized I was killing her. I was killing her. She was dying quickly. She was losing a lot of leaves, and she actually lost a lot of vines. So went in a panic mode. I downsized her into this. And I said, her leaves are thin. And I was like, okay, well, maybe because her leaves are thin, like traditionally thin leaf plants in general, they may require a little bit more water because they dry out a little bit faster. So I was like, okay, maybe that's the way to go. And so I decided to put her in this self-watering pot. When I did that, it was a complete game changer. She's been happy ever since. She's been growing ever since. She blooms for me here and there. She's not a very frequent bloomer, I would say, but she's bloomed for me moderately, if that makes sense. The key for her, though, because I am still being mindful that Hoya still don't want to be wet feet, so to speak, with this particular, I guess, setup that I have, I never fill it up to the line. I always probably fill the water reservoir up to about right here. Right now, as you can see, she has no water in the reservoir at all. And sometimes I will do that. I will let it dry out maybe a day or two, and then I'll put a little bit of water back in there. And so far, doing that has been kind of helping. She's not sitting close to the window now, you guys. She's actually hanging up here on one of my rings, hanging from the wall. So she has to be at least, come on, girl. She has to be at least, I don't know, like 10 feet away from the window. But she is getting a lot of light from this beautiful Sansi light, you guys. I love my Sansi light. Okay. Now, I do want to share something. Now, she just reminded me of something. I'm going to see if I can show y'all real quick. You would think that thin leaf plants in general, Hoyas included, would require a lot of water. I'm about to share with you a Hoya that debunks that theory. So let me put, actually, these vines is trying to attach themselves on me, and I don't want to have a plant casualty while I do these videos. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the plants up that I did show y'all, and then I'm about to share with you this Hoya, you guys. It may surprise you, but yeah, let me tidy up a bit. Okay, guys, so I had to change the camera angle around a little bit so that you could see this plant, because I can't show y'all her in her glory from me sitting down in this chair. It's just not enough space. But let me see. I'm trying my best to share with you who she is. And this is my Hoya. Let me move back some. My Hoya densifolia. You guys, this is like a plant on steroids growing wild here. But I wanted to show y'all, like, guys, look, I can't even, I'm backing up so you could see her in the screen. Look at these vines. Y'all see these vines? It's crazy, right? But I wanted to share with you her because let's take a closer look. Her leaves, you guys, are, for those of you who have a densifolia, her leaves are not the traditional Hoya thickness, and she hangs literally right at the window. And she's being grown. Let me show y'all. Can y'all see that potting mix? In nothing but a cocoa chip mixture. So the aeration is like S tier. And I don't water her that often. You guys, I honestly water her maybe on my 8th, 9th, 10th day, almost 2 weeks in before I actually give her a drink. And she's okay with that. I may have to move her away from the window though because of the thinness of her leaves. Try to show you why. And that's because some of these leaves right here are getting a little yellow. And this is the part that is facing the actual back, or so up against the window. Because honestly, you guys, the way she's growing out like this, there's no way I could put her like in the window. It's just, she's literally like, guys, look, just to give you any form of perspective here, you see how she is, and you know, she hasn't dropped yet. So I'm just going to let her do her thing, and maybe she'll drop and from the weight of the leaves. But again, the leaves are so light and feather like. That's probably why she's still able to expand as far as she has and not really droop down. So yeah, you guys. So it's not really about the leaf type as well, as far as whether or not if a Hoya prefers to be more watered. I think it boils down to just genetics. But let's go back to the collection. Okay, guys, now we are back. The next Hoya. These vines, you guys. My next Hoya, I'm going to show you guys a comparison, which I find quite interesting. And it may actually tie into what I was saying earlier when I was talking about the densifolia, as far as maybe it just boils down to the genetics of the plant. This right here is my Hoya Hilana yellow flower. Of course, the blooms, when she does bloom, are like little yellow flowers that don't really open up. They just stay like a little cluster of yellow, and they don't last long. They don't have an odor or a scent of any kind in my experience, and they just fall off. But this girl, she needs water all the time. She is a very thirsty plant. I am literally probably watering her at least once a week. She can't go beyond the 7 day, has been my experience. Now, granted, I do have her like hanging right up against the window here in my sunroom. And so, of course, it could be taking up a lot of energy. But you also have to keep in mind, too, that we are not currently in the growing season. We're approaching it now. So during the wintertime, I was watering her just as frequently as I would if we was in the growing season. So I find that quite interesting. But what is actually equally interesting that I wanted to share with you guys, and before I talk about that, you see, I don't know if the camera will pick it up. Like right now, I need to give her a drink, and I can always tell because her leaves are very known for wrinkling. And one of the things I try not to do with this particular plant is I don't want her to get to the stage of wrinkling. Now, granted, for some of our Hoyas, when they start shriveling up a little bit, sometimes that can help stress them out and maybe promote blooms. I've been trying not to do that with certain Hoyas because sometimes plants can be stressed out and they don't come back from that stress. So she's one of them, I think, because she's just not so forgiving with missing waters too long. Like I couldn't go too long with her leaves looking like this. So honestly, guys, at the end of this video, I probably will give her a nice drink. And what I usually do with her, because she is also have small, dainty, close together leaves, is every watering. She's another one alongside with my Curtisii that I'm frequently taking to my sink and giving her a spray down when I do give her a drink. And she's just mainly being grown in cocoa chips as well, which also could play a factor as to why she dries out. But I'm thinking not, and this is the reason why. This is I guess her sister, cousin, whatever you want to call it, my Hoya Hilana in a variegated plant. They are literally less than a foot away from each other, being grown in this room in the same area, receiving the same sunlight. But what I've noticed is she will stay hydrated way longer than this one. Now, one could debate that maybe this one is staying hydrated longer because she's, from what you can see visually, she's a smaller plant. Now, we can start a conversation about that, you guys. Comment and let me know. Do you think that is the reason why I'm watering her way more often than this one? Granted, what's interesting though, her leaves to me feel a little teeny bit thinner than this particular Hilana. Her leaves are a little bit thicker. So you would think in theory that she would hold on to water a little bit more, but she is a bigger plant. So is she using up more energy? I don't know. Plant moms want to know. Comment and share, you guys. This next one is, of course, is one of my top S tier Hoyas. If y'all been watching me, you'll probably already know which one I'm about to show y'all. But I have to mention her because I changed her complete way of growing, and it's worked in my favor. And I think this plant really loves it, which is quite interesting as well. And that is my Hoya Wilbur Graves. Y'all know I recently, not too long ago, put her in a no drainage situation, you guys. And because I got tired of watering her. Now, granted, she was in a small, like maybe like 2, almost 3 inch type of planter, but she was drying out just too goddamn fast, you guys. I couldn't keep up. And I said, you know what, I'm going to change how you're growing. So I put her in a slightly bigger type of growing situation. And I have I've already mentioned to you guys, but I'm just going to stress out again because it's really working. In my experience, it's working, and it's really a game changer for some of your thirsty loving plants. You may want to try it, test it out on maybe one plant and see if you like it. If not, it's okay. But I have probably half of this container is filled with the leca, and then I just have my regular soil that I never disturbed the root ball. So she too was being grown in a cocoa chip mixture. Now, mind you, I didn't change any of the substrates to any of my plants. This is pretty much how they came when I purchased the plant. So I'm thinking, okay, from my experience, from what I'm seeing with the multiple Hoyas that I do have, the cocoa chips is also, I think, a game changer when it comes to growing Hoya successfully. Especially if you like are a heavy waterer, so to speak, or overwaterer, it probably will save you a lot of headache. But anyway, leca down at the bottom. I put the root ball directly into here, and I just did the same thing that I did with my Hoya Nuna. Took my regular potting mix that I made with some extra perlite and kind of like just impact her down here. I put my, I had 2 propagations, I think, somewhere along here that I believe I shared with y'all some time ago that I put here. And what I've noticed now, you guys, is, and oh man, that's kind of cool. I'm just noticing it now. Right here, I don't even know if y'all can see it. It's a little vine coming out, and it looks like it's little leaves. So that's what I've been really trying to get. I've been trying to get, as you can see, she's tendriling. I don't think I'm gonna put her on a trellis, you guys. I love the look of this because y'all know I'm into the earth tones. I love the browns and the greens and the blues. So my goal is to actually get her hanging down here, and if I could do that, oh man, I'm gonna be. But anyway, yeah, once I did that, you guys, I don't have to water her that often. I'm just pouring. What I do is I just give her a drink. I make sure I can actually hear the water moving around in my leca. I let it sit maybe for a minute. Then I dump it and pour it out. That's very important. Do not water it and just leave it be with a non-drainage. I do feel like it's very beneficial when I pour it out. Now, what I think is actually going on in here, and this is just a theory, I don't have anything to back it up because I can't really see what's going on, but I do know that leca holds on to moisture. So I think it's helping the substrate stay moist, or it's at least allowing the roots to kind of like travel down into the leca to search for water whenever they want some water. And that way she's staying hydrated much longer. Like I can't really remember the last time I gave her a drink. It could have been maybe 5 days ago, but guys, I can't even push. I can't maneuver the leaves at all. And that is an indicator that I use now as far as watering my plants. If you are a grower for a beginner grower, do not do that tip. Please stick your finger in the substrate. It's just that I've had some of these plants in my collection long enough where I've learned the behavior of them. And so I can just pretty much sometimes tell by looking or feeling the leaves or bending them and things like that. I don't recommend that for any novice. My next Hoya, you guys, I had to bring her up. And this is my Hoya multiflora, the shooting star one. Now, I did not realize she was another plant that taught me the value of how to be on time with watering, especially now. What I've noticed, you guys, and y'all let me know for those of you that have this Hoya as well, do you water her a little bit more often when she starts to do this? In the beginning, when she started blooming, They never last. They never last. They would blast off, and I would be down to maybe one or two that would actually get to an actual shooting star formation for me. And what I've been doing lately is whenever she starts to shoot it out, I think I'm going to pin her up here. I think she'll look better like that. I'll give her more water. And when I notice doing that, her blooms before they actually open kind of like stay a little longer, if that makes sense. I don't know how much sense that makes, but her leaves are a thinner leaf. And I don't think she's getting that much of intense light, but maybe she is. She's actually sitting right here, you guys. And I mean, as you can see from the ambiance that's going on right here, the Sansi light is giving her a lot of light, so that could be another reason. But I've been watering her, giving her a lot of water since I've had her, and I don't know, but yeah. And I just, oh my goodness, you guys. And I think that what I do, because she's not, when I put her in this pot, there's got to be about this much of like air going on. When I give her a drink, I don't pour it out. So that's probably why you see the roots coming out at the bottom. I'm going to have to do something about that, but no time soon because she's not root bound. I don't think she is. And I don't want to change out of this pot because I like the way the dark green leaves with the pink. I don't know. I love it. I can't put her up. I don't want to drop her. But she is definitely one that's very thirsty. Now, I have some other ones that I'm about to share with you guys that also would spark, I think, a very interesting conversation amongst plant parents, plant enthusiasts, and that is our silver leaf Hoyas. The first one, of course, you know, is an avid grower and bloomer. I could not have done this video without showing her because she is definitely, her blooms have just, all of them pretty much fell off. My Hoya Super Silver. Oh, she got a little yellow leaf. Oh, okay. She's in a small planter, but she also requires a lot of water. What I'm noticing with some of my silver Hoyas is they do that crazy shriveling of the leaves, and I don't like the way it looks. I was having a problem. Was that a mealybug? Okay, it's not a mealy. You know, is this a mealy? Oh, it is a mealy. Oh, oh, God, dang it. Okay, I'm gonna have to spray her down. I'm sick of these mealies, you guys. Okay. But anyway, I'm so sick when my plants get sick. Okay, so she will do this like shriveling thing. And I noticed I had to really, I didn't realize what was going on. You know, I did not realize when she started doing that, that whether or not if I needed to give her water because she's in a small reservoir. I was like, I don't know. And I had intentionally put her like in a, this is a, inside of it is kind of like a slight glaze situation. I thought maybe it would hold on to the moisture a little bit longer, but this girl needs to drink all the daggone time. I have to definitely give her a lot of water. Like, honestly, she falls in that 5 to 7 day category. She is in a small vessel. She's sitting on one of my clearing floating shelves that's suctioned to the window here. So she is getting a lot of energy. I understand that. But I want her to continuously grow as fast as she's been growing. I think I don't know, you guys. What y'all think? Let me know. I might, the reason why I haven't done it yet is because every time I turn around, she is always blooming. So I don't want to cut her in mid-bloom because I feel like it's going to shock her too much, and then I'll have to wait for a very long time for her to bloom, and I don't really want that because she's so fragrant. I don't know, but I am thinking I should probably cut this and propagate this piece while I have a chance, and maybe, I don't know, try to change her. I don't want to change her in this pot though. That's the thing. I don't want to change her because she looks so good in this pot. But it's not about me. It's about what she needs, right? So yeah, but she needs a lot of water. Another silver Hoya, you guys, that I changed. their growing medium or whatever, and it really was a game changer as well, is my Hoya Silver Dollar. She really came a long way. She wasn't growing for me at all, you guys. I had her for a whole year and she didn't grow. When I brought her, she had 2 tiny leaves. And that was at the best price that I could have gotten at the time, because these girlies was expensive. And she was drying out all the time. And she is another one that I just recently put in a no drainage situation. I did the same thing with her that I did with the Wilbur Graves. And guys, a game changer. She needs water. She's another plant that I have sitting on my floating shelves that suction to the window. So she's getting adequate lighting. But ever since I did that and I'm able to maintain her moisture, I've noticed that her leaves are not shriveled up as much. And she's just put out all this new growth all of a sudden. Like, well, not all of a sudden. She did start growing a little bit more extra leaves before I did the transformation. But after I did the transformation, you guys, she shot out this tendril and I was like, whoa, she is showing off. I'm not mad at her. I hope she keep on showing off. Oh, cocoa, orchid bark. But yeah, and she's getting that beautiful sun stress y'all see right there. So she's another one that she needs water. And I don't know, is there a correlation with silver leaf plants and them actually needing a little bit more water than our traditional green babies? If y'all know the answer to that, let me know. This one, you guys. I'm about to show you my Hoya New Guinea Ghost. One of the things that I've been hearing amongst the plant community with some people that own this plant is that they had issues with the leaves shriveling. I'm about to tell you, the sun is really beaming right here. If y'all see, like, if I look like I'm glowing. This is what I've noticed with her. Let me just show y'all her. I love this plant. And I don't even think, I love this plant, but I don't think I share her a lot often with you guys. Probably because she is one that's being grown inside my home. Now, let me tell you about the journey with her. I got her, let me not stop tipping her over because she's in cocoa chips as well. And I put very little, when I up-potted her into this, I put very little potting mix. So the majority of it is cocoa chips. For those of you who don't know what they are, they're literal chips. You can actually find them anywhere. I traditionally buy them from off of Amazon because I can get a bigger box. And I have like a plethora of it, and it's been a game changer for me. It helps me regulate my watering sessions and do a healthy balance. Anyway, it's just been working. When I first got her, my goal was to get, you see that beautiful, subtle, pinkish, purplish color? My goal was, oh my God, I wanted to get all her leaves to be purple and yada, yada, yada. So I had her growing inside on my vitro shelf on the second tier, where she's probably was receiving light from my grow light 6 inches away from the light. Now she was starting to promote these colors a little bit aggressively, but what I noticed is her leaves were starting to look ugly, you guys, because it was so shriveled and wrinkled, and it just looked like she was like not liking it. So what I did do is I put her at the bottom of my shelf, where she's now probably about 2 feet away from that grow light. But I also water her very frequently, you guys. Take a look at the leaves. If you notice, the leaves are not shriveled. They don't look sick. I noticed that New Guinea Ghost, like I said, in the plant community, I've heard that it's like a known characteristics for this plant. I think that's the key. That's the reason why it's doing that. We may be giving her a little bit too much light than she can handle, and we are not watering her well enough. I changed my watering habit with her, and ever since I've done that, I've noticed that She does not give me them ugly leaves. She's pretty much stays like this all the time. She is one of the Hoyas that I don't wait for her to completely dry out before giving her water. That concept, you guys, has honestly been helping. She is not a fast grower for me. I've had her at least a year in my collection. She's just starting to promote some form of growth, which I can just reconcile that thought, because I know that when I first buy a plant, it can take maybe a year and a half before they start actually growing into their own while the sun is coming out again. But I love her. She shot up these tendrils though once I started to give her water more frequently, and I'm noticing, I don't know if you guys can see, you probably can't, she has an actual little baby leaf that's growing right there. And she's loving life. So I'm really enjoying now growing her. So if you guys have a new Guinea Ghost and you've been experiencing that shrivelingness, it means we're not watering her a little bit. We need to give her more water than what we anticipate. Now, my last plant, you guys, darn it. I'm not going to show this particular plant because I think I showed y'all this plant. I don't know, but I do have. Oh my gosh, I think I'm having a senior moment, you guys. What is that? What is happening? But anyway, guys, this plant that I'm about to show you has been a fun journey for me. Like, I love growing this plant. I can't wait to see if I can get her to be a little bit more fuller. How long have I had you? I honestly don't think I had her for a year. I'm actually going to have to look in my book of plants that I have to actually see when I actually purchased her. But anyway, and that's my Hoya Bella, the innervariegated. This is a Hoya, I believe. This is another Hoya that's growing inside my home, which is probably why I don't speak very frequently about her. A lot of Hoyas that I do share with y'all on my channel, I notice the majority of them are being grown in this room. And I think it's because I come in here to relax a lot or to just decompress sometimes. So they're like right in my face, and, you know, but out of sight, out of mind with these babies. I'm only seeing her when I'm giving her water. Now, she is definitely a thirstier plant. She has those beautiful dainty leaves that are kind of like, not too thin, but not too thick. So a medium texture as far as the thickness. She is also, too, another one that I put in a no drainage situation. And ever since I did that, game changer. It's been a game changer. And I've also propagated her, you guys. When I brought her, she was small plant, 2-inch planter, 2 vines. And as you can see so far, I'm getting her to be a little bit more fuller. I recently propagated her, and this cutting right here, this piece right here is what I just potted back in. And she has 2 vines in itself, you guys, that I want to show you. I might be wrong. Am I wrong? Oh my gosh, I'm wrong, you guys. Okay, I just lied to y'all. This is the leaf. This right here is the propagated piece. And the reason why I know that is because this propagated piece, when I propped her in water, I noticed she grew 3 peduncles on there when I potted her back up. So it's like one right there. I don't even know if y'all be able to see those 2. One here and one there. But what threw me off, you guys, is because this one, I thought this was the one that I potted up. But she, too, is getting a little peduncle. So, yeah, you guys. So that'll be super cool if they actually open up. And, oh, man, because I've never had her bloom yet thus far. And I'm always interested in seeing what the blooms look like, what colors they look like. I don't know. I really love this vibe. Y'all know, and mind you, this one, sidebar real quick. And this one was pretty good planty finds that I found thrifting, you guys. So, and they're all 3 of them are handmade by somebody because they all have like little initials at the bottom, which I think is so cool, so neat. Same type of thing I did with her. I put Lekka down at the bottom here, put her back in, backfilled her with my soil mix, and she is on my vitro shelf that is, she is directly underneath my grow light, like really probably like 6 inches away from my grow light, which she seems to me that she can handle it, you guys. I love this plant so much. I am about to um get a get her sisters, meaning the all green variety. I'm super excited. All green variety one, as well as the outer variegated one. I've been trying to find one for a long time. Finally came across 2 specimens. They should be on their way shortly. Well, who knows? Maybe by the time you see this video, I will already have them in my collection. But super excited. It couldn't have came at a better time in the beginning of the growing season. I'm hoping the other 2 are just as equally easy to grow as this one has been. She's been really a joy to grow. She hasn't given me any problems. Knock on wood, and I hope that it stays that way. So if you made it this far to the end, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I always enjoy talking to each and every last one of you. Hey, I've noticed too, you guys, before I let you go, a lot of you have been watching, but some of y'all are not subscribed. So if you think that you are subscribed, do me a favor, double check for me, turn that subscription button on to subscribe, push those thumbs up to help get my channel out to more people. You guys have been doing that. It has been helping me out. Yeah. And also like and share, you guys. And one thing I have not been telling y'all that I've been needing to tell y'all is turn on that notification bell, please. Because, yeah, YouTube is doing something crazy with this algorithm, and I'm trying to make sure I stay in the mix. So any support that you guys can do, which is all the 3 that I mentioned, I appreciate it. But anyway, enjoy your day wherever you are in the world. And until next time, guys, much love. Bye. She is beautiful. Golly. I love this plant.